are saying that is illegal, and the ball has on it.
From players rubbing sticky stuff on their hands to players taking steroids, these players took cheating to a whole new level and got caught. To start with, we have Draymond Green. Now, this dude isn't exactly everyone's favorite on the court. And you know why? Because he's kind of got a thing for the not-so-friendly plays. I mean, just ask Steven Adams how it feels to catch a kick where it really hurts. But this time around,
we're not talking about Draymond's kicks.
We're talking a different kind of foul play that landed him on our list.
New Orleans bench, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, in conversations with Rajon Rondo.
What you just saw needs no explanation, and yeah, you ain't hallucinating. This dude was trying to listen in on another team's huddle.
Draymond Green is obviously not content with just kicking opponents.
But it's not like he's the only one. Maybe he got inspiration from around the league and decided it fit his playstyle.
Is Booker involved with the Cavaliers huddle? And Toronto says, hey, wait a second. You're not supposed to be here.
Why is this cheating, you may ask? Well, it's not about stealing your playbook or overhearing your secret plays. It's about the psychological game.
Draymond strolls into your huddle,
takes a mental note of your game plan, and then casually strolls away, leaving chaos in his wake. I mean, who wouldn't be pissed off with that unexpected interruption? Even his former teammate, Kevin Durant, doesn't condone this type of behavior on the court.
Then Bruce Brown, who knows KD well, they spent the last 2 years together, and then the push, Durant.
While Draymond's unethical play may not seem that obvious, the next one is.
Now, we've seen Dwight make headlines for various reasons throughout his career.
Meaning you're not gay.
I'm not gay.
But there's one incident that stands out as a hilarious and unexpected twist in the world of basketball shenanigans. Dwight Howard, during his time with the Rockets, decides to add a little something extra to his ball handling skills. And no, I'm not talking about those ball handling skills.
I'm not gay.
We're talking stickum, a sticky substance athletes use to get a better grip on the ball. Stickum isn't exactly the kind of accessory you'd expect to see on the court, but Dwight apparently thought, why not? The moment of realization comes when Paul Millsap, probably feeling like something's off with the ball, notices that Dwight was the last person to handle it.
Paul Millsap threw the ball back to the ref because Dwight Howard, when he came to the sideline, he sprayed some stuff on his hands that made the ball very sticky.
Now, stickum isn't explicitly banned by NBA rules, but it's definitely not the go-to choice for ball enhancement. Here's the plot twist. When Dwight Howard openly admits to using stickum, instead of being labeled as a dirty cheater, the reaction is more like it was all some sort of joke. I mean, let's be real. A sticky substance on the basketball court is more likely to do harm than good. It's like trying to catch a pass and realizing your hands are stuck together. Not the smartest move in basketball history. But this next move might be considered one of the smoothest. Jared Dudley is the man not exactly known for his high-flying antics on the court. I mean, when you're self-proclaimed as a guy with no hops, you know you're not winning any slam dunk contests.
Dudley, top of the key, three is good! They've come all the way back!
But hey, Dudley found a different way to make an impact, and it involved a bit of rule bending that left everyone scratching their heads. So, it's a jump ball situation, and there's Jared Dudley, not exactly the most athletic guy, facing off against a towering 7-foot center, Andrew Bynum. Now, common sense would tell you the odds aren't in Dudley's favor, especially in a jump ball scenario. Instead of attempting the impossible jump, Dudley decides to throw the rulebook out the window and goes for a steal as Bynum tips the ball to a teammate. Sneaky move, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Stealing the ball in a jump ball situation isn't exactly by the book, and any other player attempting this would probably get a one-way ticket to the penalty box. But the ref, in Dudley's case, decides to stay silent, letting the play unfold. Dudley snatches the ball, makes a slick pass, and suddenly his teammate is shooting free throws.
And that's not allowed. Yeah. He's the jumper, right?
The Lakers, understandably, weren't too thrilled about this turn of events. The refs might have let this episode of cheating fly under the radar, but this next player wasn't that lucky. Now, none of the examples we've discussed in this video have had to do with money. Well, this next one is, and it involved none other than Joe Smith. This dude took under-the-table deals to a whole new level in the NBA. You'd think illegal maneuvers like this were reserved for the drama-filled world of college basketball. But Joe Smith decided to break the mold and stir up some controversy in the pros. So, here's the setup. Joe Smith, after a stellar start with the Warriors, decides to turn down a jaw-dropping $80 million extension. I mean, who says no to that kind of cash, right? Instead, he hits the free agent market and everyone's expecting a bidding war for his services. Plot twist, he signs with the Timberwolves for less than $2 million, a fraction of his market value. Cue the jaw drop from around the league. As the smoke clears, it's revealed that there's more to this bargain deal than meets the eye. It turns out there's an under-the-radar, hush-hush illegal agreement in place. Joe Smith, the puppet master in this NBA chess game, signs not one, not two, but 3 one-year deals for peanuts. Why, you ask? Well, it's a sneaky strategy to give the Timberwolves his bird rights, allowing them to go over the salary cap and re-sign him for a whopping $86 million. Talk about playing the system. But every secret has its day, and this one came to light during a lawsuit involving the agency representing Joe Smith. The NBA, not one to let such maneuvers slide, dropped the hammer on the Timberwolves. Multiple first-round picks were stripped away, and the team found itself coughing up a hefty $3.5 million in fines. Next up, Bruce Bowen, the OG of sliding under shooters, making a mark with his defense, or some might say, his not-so-sportsmanlike plays. Now, before the Zaza Pachulia rule came into existence in 2017, there was another master of the slide tackle, and his name was Bruce Bowen. Whether he's better known for his lockdown defense or these not-so-friendly slides is up for debate. Spending a minute or two on the internet and you'll uncover a treasure of examples where Bowen's sliding antics caused a stir and maybe a few rolled ankles. But here's the twist. Bowen, the maestro of sliding, becomes one of the loudest critics of Zaza Pachulia's defense of Kawhi Leonard in 2017. Talk about irony. It's like the sliding expert calling out the new kid on the block for the same tactics he mastered. Speaking of sliding tackles and injuries, the next player on the list injured himself and doped his way back to fitness. Hedo Turkoglu is a player who faced a roadblock in his solid NBA career thanks to a series of unfortunate events. In the summer of 2012, Hedo Turkoglu was back in his home country of Turkey, recovering from an injured shoulder. He's gearing up for the upcoming 2012-13 season, ready to make a return to the court. But then, just when things seemed to be on the upswing, a curveball came hurtling his way. Midway through the 2012-13 season, Turkoglu gets hit with a 20-game suspension, and the reason? A failed drug test. Now, you might be thinking, uh-oh, is this dude on steroids? Well, yeah, actually. The substance in question was methanolone, an anabolic steroid that has raised eyebrows in the world of sports, including Olympic gold medalists. But fear not, for Hedo Turkoglu brings us one of the most creative excuses in the book. Instead of admitting to using an anabolic steroid for classic performance-enhancing purposes, he tells a different story. According to Turkoglu, the methanolone was all pain relief and speeding up the recovery process. Talk about trying to finesse his way out of a fine. Now, regardless of the motive, one thing is crystal clear. Methanolone is on the banned substances list, and Hedo should have known better. Maybe he was hoping for a loophole or backdoor to evade any actions against him, but the NBA wasn't buying it. So, while serving his 20-game suspension,
Turkoglu had some time to reflect on the consequences of his unconventional recovery methods.
Maybe players should have taken notes from Hedo and his drug-related incident, because we have the saga of John Collins and the suspension that added a sour note to the Atlanta Hawks season. Now, while the Phoenix Suns had their fair share of drug-related suspensions in 2019, the Hawks weren't spared from a hit either. John Collins, a key piece in the Hawks puzzle, found himself benched for a whopping 25 games. The reason? A positive test for growth hormone-releasing peptide, a banned chemical that's not exactly on the NBA's list of approved supplements. Now, Collins, like many before him, came forward with the classic contaminated supplement defense. It's like the go-to excuse in the world of professional sports. Blame it on the supplement. But the NBA wasn't buying it, and the suspension stood. The timing couldn't have been worse. While the Hawks might not have started the season with dreams of playoff glory, losing one of their most productive players for a quarter of the games is a tough pill to swallow. Collins insisted it was all due to a supplement gone rogue, but the league was unfazed. In the grand scheme of things, the Hawks didn't have the best record, and even without Collins, a playoff spot might have been a long shot. Yet, in the world of young teams, player development and building that crucial team chemistry is priceless. Maybe NBA players will learn a thing or two from all this. Or not.